Okay, now I've sent you the task of trying to learn the song Heroes, well, most of you, on either the guitar, the bass, piano, or singing. And I've had a couple of people ask about how to play this song and they're struggling with parts, so I thought I'd make a little demonstration video on the guitar and the bass. I might get around to piano if I can manage it. I'm not going to do a singer one because I'm not a good enough singer. First of all, the guitar. If you look, first of all, just above the tab beneath the note, it says with distortion optional. I'm using distortion for this first part because it sounds much better, sounds much more like the song. If I take the distortion off, it sounds a little bit weak, okay? So if you haven't got distortion, don't worry about it, because when we record this, we'll be able to use distortion then. But for now, I'm going to use distortion for this first part. Okay, and it starts off B string, 10th fret, hold the note for almost 2 full bars. Next thing you've got to do is you've got to bend that string on that 10th fret. It says bend it full, which means you want to bend it until you hear that note. Okay, you want to bend a full bend from there until you hear that note. So it should sound, hopefully if I get it right, something like, okay, and you've got to release it quickly as well. So release it back to normal. So hold the 10th fret, full bend, back to normal. Okay, and then it's got to repeat, so you do it again. Bend it quick, release back to normal. Okay, full bend up to that note if you can. That's the intro. The verse is exactly the same as the intro. Okay, so as soon as you can manage that, it's exactly the same for the verse. Hold that 10th fret, full bend, back to normal. Do it once, do it a second time as well. Okay, that's it, just bend that note, quick release as well. Then, just before the pre-chorus starts at bar 17, just looking at the guitar tab on my computer, just before 17 you've got a little upbeat, okay, so the last few notes of bar 16 leads into the pre-chorus, and it starts off on the 7th fret, but not quite because you've got to bend it straight away. This is only a half bend, so we're bending up to that note there. Okay, so it sounds like, so that last note you've got to hold, watch out for it because it's on a different string, and then it's almost exactly the same after that, but that note, and that note. Okay, so the pre-chorus goes, that's the pre-chorus. The chorus, just like the pre-chorus, starts with a little upbeat bit into it, okay? And again, we go back to the 10th fret on the B string, but this time full bend up straight away. That's it, it's very quick. So we start on a full bend on the 10th fret, release it to the 9th fret on the G string, okay, and then at the end of that bar, full bend on the 9th fret. And if you look closely at bar 26, where you've got 7th fret, 9th fret, full bend, release to a half bend, just before the end of the bar, release it completely. Next bar, 7th fret, right at the end of that, 5th fret on the B string, full bend. At the end of that bar, we've then got repeat, so we go back to the verse, do it all over again, verse, pre-chorus and chorus. And then as soon as you've done that chorus for the second time, we get into verse 3. And this is where it's got to change slightly. So if I was using a pedal, this is where I'd switch off the distortion, because on the tab it says clean or slight crunch. I haven't got a crunch sound available, so I'm just going to do it clean. And it also says light palm muting, so you want the palm of your pick and hand slightly blocking the strings at the end, so you get that sort of sound instead of, you don't want to hear the strings clearly, you want them to be slightly muted. I'm going to turn my volume up slightly so you can hear me slightly better. Not that much. Okay, and then it looks relatively simple compared to what you've been doing, but you can't stop, so you've got to carry on this really, really repetitive rhythm. that's your verse 3. If you look closely, you've got the first 2 notes, just a simple power chord. Third time, you've got to stretch that little finger up to the 9th fret there. Okay? Very bluesy sort of sounding. Same thing once you get to the 3rd fret. Power chord, stretch that little finger up to the 7th fret, and then you've got to repeat that twice like I did. Once you get to the 3rd fret there, or in the tab it's the 8th fret. Okay, so you've again, power chord, stretch the little finger. Okay, that doesn't happen once you get to the 5th fret here, it's just straight power chords. And the 7th fret there, just straight power chords. And then, as soon as you get to the chorus outro, bar 65, release the palm muting. We want full chords this time, but you've got a little squiggly line on the tab, which means you don't play it like this. Okay, you are much more of an arpeggiated sort of sound, so play the strings slightly slower. Okay, so it's just C chord, G chord, D chord. Okay, and then A minor chord, E minor chord, D chord. Okay, so it's a very simple ending, just a few chords you've got to strum. I haven't talked about dynamics yet because I'm recording on a phone, so it's not going to be great, but if you go right back to the start where you've got your distortion on, 10th fret on the B string, just above the tab you've got a little F, okay, which means loud. So you've got to do that bit loud, louder than I'm doing at the moment. I'm just recording through a phone, okay? And then as soon as we get to the verse, that symbol is no longer F, it's MF, which means moderately loud. So we've gone from loud to moderately loud, so we've got to drop down a little bit, that's because the vocals come in there. Okay, so it's moderately loud all throughout the verse, all throughout the pre-chorus, and then when we get to the chorus, it jumps back up to loud. Okay, so you've got it loud at that point because we're in the chorus. And then again, repeat all the way back to the start. Verse 3, where we take the distortion off, we do the palm muting. That says MP, which means moderately quiet, so that's where we've got to drop down a bit. Every instrument at this point drops down. Okay, MP throughout that. As soon as you get to bar 57, it says gradual crash, which means gradual crescendo, which means gradually getting louder. So at this point, you've got to have a really gradual crescendo, and then you see at bar 62, when you get to the 7th fret on the A string, that's an F, so loud again. And then the next bar, we just got to do the 5th fret power chord. It's got this little hairpin sort of thing, okay, which is an attack symbol, which basically means you've got to really attack it, okay. And then chorus outro bar 65 is MP, so moderately quiet again. Remember those arpeggiated chords. Hold them for a long time if you can. And that's the whole song, I think. I think we've covered everything. Okay, so practice each little bit and then try playing through it with the backing track as well.